Hello, I welcome you back to this interesting question in physics that is falling under electricity. So let's see how we can answer this question. So this is part 1. I'm coming for part 2, then I'm done with this. So here I'm just going to teach you how you can find current and the total resistance. So like I always tell you, I won't only teach you how to answer this particular question, but this question should open up your mind on how to go about another question. So you are given a question can be as given. They can give you a question to say figure 10.4. Let's say this is figure 10.4 shows an electric circuit containing 12 volts. We've got 12 volts there, power supply, and the number of resistors. We are given different resistors. There is resistor. This is ammeter. What is ammeter recording? Ammeter is recording current. So current is recorded by an instrument called the ammeter. And the current is measured in amperes. So now, the first question is saying, calculate the combined resistance of the 2 ohm and 4 ohm resistors in series. So this question is very simple. They have even told you that you are calculating the resistance of these two which are connected in series. So how do you calculate the total resistance when resistors are connected in series? So if they are connected in series, this is what I want you to understand. If they are connected in series, what you need to know for you to calculate the total resistance. So total resistance is given by the formula resistor 1 plus resistor 2 plus resistor 3 plus resistor 4. You are just going. In other words, when you are taught to calculate the total resistance, when the resistors are connected in series, you just need to add. So in here, we just have these two. So we are going to add these two. Have you seen? We are going to do what? We are going to add. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So when we add, let's say we add this part. So we are going to say total resistance is now equal to what? 2 ohm resistor plus 4 ohm resistor. When you add these two, the answer you get is 6 ohms, meaning that this is your what? This is your answer. The total resistance is what? 6 ohms. So we've answered this particular question. As simple as this. This is what you are supposed to do and consider. Then we move to this other question. We move to the other question. So let us move to the other question. Hope you've seen the answer there is 6. So I'll just put here, maybe it can be used on other questions. This is 6 ohms, which is the total resistance there. And then the 3 ohm and 6 ohm resistors in parallel. So these ones are connected in what? In parallel. So how do you calculate the total resistance when resistors are connected in parallel? How do you calculate that? When they are connected in what? In parallel. How do you calculate that? So what you are going to do, what you need to do is that total resistance, if you are just having 2 resistors like in this question, so I'm going to use this one. If you want to know another formula that is used when you are given more than 2, just stay connected to me. Everything will be revealed to you. So if you are just given 2 resistors, you just use this formula where you say resistor 1 multiplied by resistor 2 over resistor 1 plus resistor 2. This is the formula that you are going to use. So this one is conditional. We only get to use this one if the 2 resistors given, have you seen 2 resistors are in parallel? So if you are just given 2 resistors, what you need to do, you use this formula where you are going to say that total resistance is equal to resistor 1. You can start with 3, 6, any. So you can say 3 times 6 over 3 plus 6. You are adding. You are going to get 18 there over 9. So when you add, what answer are you getting? You say total resistance is equal to what? When you divide there, you're getting 2. So 2 what? 2 ohms. This is the total resistance. This is the formula that we use when we are just having 2 resistors. So this is the formula that you need to know and understand. If you're just having how many resistors? 2. Understand this. When you're just having 2 resistors, this is the formula to use. So we've answered this question also, 2 ohms. As simple as that. So this is what you need to do. So these are the questions that I wanted us to answer. These are the questions that I wanted us to discuss together. So now let us move to the other part. Let us now move to this question. Let me write down another question that I want us to discuss together. So this is a question that I want us to answer, saying calculate the reading of ammeter in the circuit. So for us to calculate the reading of ammeter in this circuit, we know that the ammeter which is given, the ammeter A in this circuit, measures the current that is passing through that branch of the circuit, just this branch. Have you seen this branch of the circuit? So we are going to calculate the what? The current that is passing through this branch of the circuit. We know that we've got this formula, voltage is equal to current over current times resistance. So what we are going to do is that when we make I the subject to the formula, we divide both sides by R, we divide both sides by R. This, we've got voltage over resistance. This is what we are going to do. So this is a formula that we are going to use on this part. So what I need to do now is that I know that the voltage, since this one, if I calculate the total resistance here, I come up with one thing. I also calculate the total resistance that is there. I also come up with one thing. So now these two are going to be in parallel. I know that voltage in parallel is the same, but current is shared. I've told you that if you're not understanding this, just stay connected. I'm going to explain. But for now, just know that the current in parallel connection is different, but voltage is the same. This is what you need to understand. Because here, I'm going to come up with one thing here. One thing here, which is going to have 6 ohms. Even there, I'm going to come up with one thing there, which will have 2 ohms like that. So voltage is the same, meaning that using this particular formula, I'm going to say this is equal to voltage 12, total resistance that is there, I calculated that it was 2, which is now equal to what? When I divide there, what answer am I getting? I'm getting 6 ohms. So this is my answer. This is what you need to do. Hope you've learned something. And if there is someone that wants tuitions, make sure that you WhatsApp me on this number. I add you to the group so that you start preparing for your exams. This is my number that I get to use. Make sure that you text me on WhatsApp. I add you to the group. Science, it's only 100 kwacha, both chemistry and physics. So this is what you are supposed to know and understand. So we end here. This is part 1. I'll be back in the few minutes with part 2 of physics. Stay connected. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share this video and comment and let me know where you are watching me from.